Electric company is here to install our power, and it's 3 trucks. Wow. So electric company is here and they will first install our primary line to the electric pole. That is our transformer getting moved. We're running generator this morning to top off our batteries because it's been raining last couple days, but it's very exciting that soon, maybe even today, we'll have electricity turned on.
Things went from 0 to everything happening at once this morning. About an hour ago, we heard that today is the day that we are getting our electrical service installed. So this is a pretty monumental achievement. They have just installed this. This is our pad mount transformer, and this is what turns the high voltage or medium voltage, the primary service, into the 120 240 volt service that we're going to be using inside our house and inside, for the time being, inside our RV. And the way that we'll be doing that is from this transformer, the 120 240 volt service goes to the temporary backboard just here that we assembled a month or so back.
So the meter is also in, and now what's left is to put the wires on the poles. Now the wires are getting tightened over here, getting higher and higher.
You got 2 cameras on you.
No pressure.
No pressure.
That's why it's flagging around. You got it.
There it is.
You guys should be around when there's an actual fault and the thing blows back at you.
And we have power. The electric company got here at 9 o'clock and it's just over 1 o'clock and they're completely done.
Yeah, we woke up this morning and as I was turning the generator on, I said to Diana, I wonder if this will be the last time we run the generator. And so we emailed our contact the utility company and said, hey, do you know when the work is scheduled? And he replied back almost instantly and said, today. So very quickly, we got our things together and got outside. That was, what, 4 hours ago?
Yeah.
And we now have power. The power company, they did the exact same thing we did. They worked from the top down. So the last connection they made was energizing the fuse at the road, basically, where our spur connects to the road. Same thing we did here. We built this panel so that as soon as they connected things up, we weren't messing around inside this breaker panel either. All of our wiring had been done. What that means is right now the meter up here is energized. They've done their voltage checks and it all looks good. So they are seeing the correct voltage on the meter.
And the meter says 0.
Meter 0, hopefully not for much longer. I'm going to do some quick tests on here, make sure that we're seeing the voltages we need to on the receptacles, so that the inside of here, all the breakers are turned off right now. We're going to turn those on, check the individual outlets, make sure everything's working, test the GFCI outlets, make sure everything looks good, and then plug in the RV. So I've just used this simple receptacle tester. This checks for a bunch of things, including the open neutral, open ground, reverse polarity on things. And I've checked all 4 of these sort of connections here. The way that we've got this wired up is the left and right receptacles are actually on different 20 amp branch circuits. So each one has its own breaker here, 20 amp left, 20 amp right. The reason for that is then we can actually plug in 2 different high draw appliances, for example, 2 different big power tools like a planer and a table saw or something on here, and each one has the full current to use. This tester has confirmed everything's working. I've also tested the GFCI on both of those, so I know that looks good. They are quite stiff, these receptacles. So those looking good. Now I'm just going to check the voltage on those, and I'm going to check the 30 and the 50. So I'm checking the 30 amp receptacle here, and we are seeing just over 120 volts, 120.3, 120.4 volts. So we are right where we expect it to be. And that breaker's working. I'll turn these off when I'm finished with them, just so we can keep a track of it. So the last one to check is the 50 amp. So for the 50 amp, we have 2 hots. So, Dan, if you could turn on the breaker for the 50. Okay, so we're now seeing 120.2 between neutral and that leg. If I switch that round, same to that leg. And then if I go between the two, 240 volts between the two. So all the voltages look good here. The last thing to do is hook up the RV and hope it all works. It should. We've now done all the testing. They tested the voltages as well. So we've done everything we can now to make sure it all looks good. Time to get power. This is our RV cord, and for the past 6 months we've been using this dog bone to convert the 30 amp adapter to this 20. No more. We can actually go for a proper 30 amp connection now. So let's plug us in. I'll turn the breaker off. Secure that in. So that is power to the RV. Hopefully in a minute we'll hear it beep inside and we'll get power. See if I can have a look on my phone and see it. So this is our dashboard here, looking at the power. And you can see it's detecting the voltage. It's got 120.3. We have an EMS that's just going to monitor the power for a bit and make sure that it's happy with it. And oh, sorry, that's the output power I'm looking at there. The EMS inside is going to monitor the power for a bit. And there we go. We just saw that trip on, and we are now pulling 1800 watts. We're pulling about 16 amps, 15.8 amps, which is what we've got the current limit set to right now. And it's seeing a voltage of 114.8. You can see I've got a current limit there of 17 set. I can now lift that limit, raise it up to 30 amps, and we can charge all the things. In reality, it won't actually charge much faster than that. The limiting factor on this is actually the speed of the DC charging current. It won't charge more than about 120 amps or so. So we're pretty much peaked out there, which is actually why we bought that size of generator in the first place. There wasn't a lot of point having a larger one if the only use was to charge the batteries. Anyway, this is a huge milestone for us. Finally, we can stop relying on the generators for power. Yes, we have been using solar as much as possible, but on cloudy days, on rainy days, and honestly, even just in mid-September now, the sun is low enough that it's shading behind the trees for several good hours of the day. We don't need to worry anymore. We have full power. We can have the inverter turned on, power turned on all day long. We can run our electric heater and save some propane. We can switch the fridge over to electric and save some propane. Diana can stop having to worry about turning the little inverter on and off to run the laptop on. This is huge.
This is gonna be a life of luxury, living with power.
It really is.
Awesome. This is very exciting. We have water, we have power. Next up is septic.
So I hope you enjoyed this video, seeing us finally getting hooked up with electricity here at our property in Vermont. If you did and you're not subscribed already, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and we'll see you in the next video.